Hey, hey, my friends, happy Friday. This is the second fire today. It usually happens this way because I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 3:30. I'm an early riser. I barely sleep. But Buzzgum, she wakes up late. And today she was working, so she didn't get to light her fire this morning. So I'm going to light it now. A little Skidabic, good old Skidabic. This is my so that's what we're doing today. We're gonna have a late fire. It's more like an afternoon. But I wanted to discuss something with you. You know, there's a lot of people in this world. I'm one of them, where I've gone to the AA program and the NA program and all that, you know, these group programs. And you always hear people saying, I am in recovery. I'm in recovery. Or I am a recovering addict, a recovering alcoholic. And it gets me thinking, you know, that's fine and dandy, right? Because I know, like, a lot of these recovery programs and treatment centers, they're turning into a business, you know, and they want repeat customers, or you know, they want to keep that flow of customers coming in, eh? And that's how they get their money. They get their umbrella money from the government and medical services. All right, so moving on. You have we're trained to say, I am a recovering whatever. And I run into these people, these ones I've known from many years ago, like 30 years ago or 20 years ago. And they're still, I can't believe it, but they're still saying, I am in recovery. And it makes you wonder, eh? It's been 20 frickin' years, you know? So I asked them, why do you say I am a recovering, or I'm in recovery, and it's been 20 years? And they tell me, well, I use my history to maintain my sobriety. And I think, okay, I understand that to a point, you know, like 5 years into my recovery of sobriety, you know, I would say the same thing. I'm recovering, so I'm entitled to make a mistake. I'm supposed to make mistakes in the early first 5 years or something, you know, until I get the programming fixed. Well, these are people that have been in recovering for 15, 20, 30 years plus. And they're still saying it. I'm a recovering addict. I'm recovering. And I think to myself, I dropped that phrase a long time ago. I'm a recovering, like 10 years in my sobriety, because I felt there was something wrong with that word in me. I felt like, you know, I gotta let go of the friggin' past. That's what it's all about, you know. I can understand the newbies on the recovery path or the healing path saying that, but there's got to be a point in time when you reach and you got to say, okay, my past has served me. Okay, the mistakes of my past have served me. Now it's time to refocus, to reprogram my brain, to stop looking at the past as an excuse, as a tool to maintain my sobriety, to maintain my clean living, to maintain myself on this good path. So instead of saying I'm in recovery, what would you say? You know? I don't know if I'm making any sense here. So, you got a guy, girl, 20 years sober, and they're still saying, I'm in recovery. I'm recovering. And it just makes me think, are you still using your past to maintain your sobriety? What about your future? Do you have any goals? Do you have a vision? Do you have a direction to head to? You know? Shouldn't that be your new phase of sobriety and clean living? Holy, this fire's just dancing. Like I said, the future, right, should be your new kind of anchor, I guess, towards good living instead of using the past. There's got to be a time in our lives where we just got to let go of certain things. You know, it's like you're going to relocate from one house to another. And, you know, there's stuff you haven't seen, touched, used for 5 years. Are you going to drag that stuff into your new house or your new apartment or wherever it is you're moving? You know, and you haven't worn it, you haven't loved it, you haven't needed it, you haven't wanted it. It just sits there. That's how I think about the past, right? If it doesn't have a purpose, why am I hanging on to it? You know, so let it go. And then something new is going to come in the future. And use that, whatever it is, friendships, connections, work, whatever, schooling, self-improvement, dreams, visions, whatever it is, use that to maintain your sobriety, not your past anymore. Your past is going to always be there, but you can't do anything about it. But you can do something about your future. You can do something about today. And whatever you do today is going to either help your sobriety, your clean living, your goal setting, or it's going to hinder it, depending on the choice, direction you choose, right? So that's what I think about recovery. All right, that's it. Anyway, Buzzcom's coming out to do her prayers. I just had to share that. If you got any thoughts or feelings about what I'm saying about recovery versus I'm alive, I'm living a good life. I don't know what is another way of saying that, where you're focused on the future to maintain your sobriety and good living instead of your past mistakes, you know, your adventures of the past to maintain your sobriety. I don't know. If you come up with something, please write it in the comments. Have a great day, everybody. Minogizgat. Talk to you all later. Miigwech. Bamampi.